In the dead of night, on the dark waters of the Strait of Hormuz, a Chinese methanol ship slips past the United States Navy. The diplomatic fallout is immediate. The Iranian embassy publicly mocks the United States, pointing out their inability to stop the vessel. Inside Iran, the domestic toll drives this defiance. With 42,000 casualties and shattered infrastructure, Tehran has adopted an uncompromising, aggressive stance. Washington responds with overwhelming force. Two colossal aircraft carriers, the USS Abraham Lincoln and the Gerald Ford, drop anchor to completely lock down the region. This narrow physical bottleneck has trapped two heavily armed powers in a zero-sum game, where a single misstep guarantees wider conflict. Iran immediately sets a steep price for de-escalation, $270 billion in financial reparations, citing the penalties imposed on Germany after the First World War. This animated map illustrates Iran's new asymmetric threat. Every single barrel of oil passing through this maritime route now triggers a $1 toll. Tehran demands this toll be paid exclusively in yuan or cryptocurrency, a calculated strike against the dominance of the US dollar. The United States issues a binary ultimatum, vowing to punish any nation that pays this toll. The global shipping industry is forced into an impossible choice. Military leverage has completely stalled. The naval standoff has effectively become an economic hostage situation with no traditional off-ramp. Half a world away in Washington, D.C., a 40-minute phone call between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump opens an entirely different channel. Iran operates with a surprising geopolitical carve-out, explicitly listing India as one of only 5 nations whose ships are completely immune to their naval blockade. Tehran and New Delhi openly celebrate their ties, anchored by shared strategic infrastructure projects like the Chabahar port. Simultaneously, the U.S.-India alliance is solidifying. U.S. Ambassador Sergio Bor confirms their relationship is on a strong footing, paving the way for high-level visits to New Delhi, including an expected trip from Secretary of State Marco Rubio. This makes India a geopolitical anomaly. It is the only major power trusted to sail a tanker safely through an Iranian blockade and immediately dial into the White House. New Delhi steps into the crossfire out of necessity. To protect its domestic energy security, India requires the Strait of Hormuz to remain completely open and toll-free. Looking at this network map, we see the scale of India's multilateral mediation. Prime Minister Modi is operating backdoor channels with Saudi Arabia, the UAE, France, Jordan, and Malaysia. A viable peace deal requires strict architecture. Tehran must walk away with a tangible, face-saving victory for its domestic audience. Washington requires an equally specific off-ramp, one that allows President Trump to claim a decisive geopolitical win back home. India's strategy does not dictate terms. It engineers a bespoke exit strategy that satisfies the maximalist political requirements of both leaders. The immense pressure of the Hormuz deadlock is causing friction in diplomatic channels far beyond the Gulf. We can see this friction in Canada's recent actions. Despite its deep historical ties to Washington, Ottawa is providing aid to Lebanon, a country where US-backed Israel is currently striking Hezbollah. These conflicting moves suggest that traditional security pacts are under strain, as middle powers prioritize immediate regional stability or their own strategic interests over their usual alliances. The standoff in the Strait has become a stress test, revealing that when a vital global trade artery is at stake, historical loyalty is no longer a given. This shift places a unique premium on the outcome of that 40-minute phone call between Modi and Trump. Because military threats have failed to reopen the Strait, the resolution now depends on the kind of cross-factional leverage that New Delhi has spent years building. India's ability to operate in both camps shows that a nation can exert significant influence without strictly adhering to one side of a geopolitical divide. By maintaining open channels with both the arsonist and the firefighter, India has positioned itself as the rare power capable of engineering a path out of the deadlock while securing the world's most vital energy route.